Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the garage. So, this is one of those weeks where work's kicking my butt, and so I need to get away from the computer a little bit, which is part of why I'm not doing the handle at the moment, because that's just one more thing on the computer. So I gotta get my brain space away from that thing for a minute and do some toolkit therapy. So I just figured I'd show you, in case I just jumped to the finished result, right? What I did is I just took out some of the Chinesium toolage, and these, just laid it out on my foam, just cut right around it, right? And then what I'm doing is 3 layers. So just take a look, right? So it's this layer of the cheap stuff underneath, and then this for the bottom, just to, so it's not just, clinking on the metal when I drop the tools in. And then on, like, the depth is a little bit different on the lid versus the bottom. And so I have the same kind of thing, but for the bottom I have this one, it's a little bit deeper, right? And then this one's a little shallower for the top lid. And then when I'm making the cuts on this, what I do, so that you can't even tell that I'm using the crapola foam, what I found is that if it's the type of thing where I need to go down like a little bit but not like all the way, then what I'll do is I'll cut the hole in this layer. I'll cut the hole in this layer, and then what I'll do is I'll take the piece out from here and insert it in here. So when you're looking down, like that's what you see. And that's what I did with my little mobile toolkit. And that's what kept, like, on that top shelf in areas. That's what, well, no, that one I doubled up this. But I have done it on some others. I'm not even sure which ones now. But anyways, I'm gonna jump to my layout, so probably just show you the finished result next. But in case you were wondering how I do it, that's how I do it. And then, so this layer here is peel and stick, right? So I'll peel and stick it to this layer, and then in order to get this, then what I'll do is I'll drop magnets in wherever there's openings in the bottom of this, where I want, if I need them, and then what I do is I pop this back out, then I use some spray adhesive, and then I just spray this on, and then this whole thing will just seat in there, and then the magnets are already where they're supposed to be. So that's how I do it. Alrighty, people, what do you guys think of that? I think that looks kind of cool. I think we get a little 8, 10, 12, 14 in there. I think to cover the most of the bases for the Honda, I think that'll do nicely. So, all right, let's get to cutting. I got an idea. I was rolling around in the head for this one, guys. I'm gonna try it out, see how this works. So since I'm putting this here, I'm gonna zoom out for you. Since I'm putting this in there, I kind of don't want. I want to be careful with the magnets. I don't want so many. I don't want to. I'm not sure how sensitive to the magnets this little X-Tool advancer will be. So what I'm gonna try is a strategy that I'm hoping will hold the deep sockets, but at the same time kind of direct the field such that it's kind of away from the the little scan tool dealio. Oh, come on, no, okay. There we go. Whew. Okay, that was close, but seems to be good. And then I just want to kind of test out. Yeah, there we go. All right. Shoot. Oh, damn it. All right, I'm gonna trim that down a little bit, or try to. It's a very strong magnet. And as much as I wanted to do like a deeper layer of foam, just the fact that I'm doing the magnets this way, it's gonna make it a little tricky to do it like that. You know what? I wasn't even thinking, like I didn't even measure over here, so like I don't know if I left myself enough room for that. Damn it. I was Will, oh yes. Perfect. Okay. Well, I just have to be able to get this thing off of there. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Very cool. These things are such strong magnets. Not cheap either. All right. There we go. All right. So now a little test. Oh yeah, look at that. That is awesome. Oh, I love that. All right, so we got 14. Oh, that worked. That turned out so good. Oh man, I'm loving this. I think this is probably like my favorite. Oh, yeah, that is so cool. Oh, I love that. All right, now for the more boring stuff, just gonna go cut some stuff out. All right, I'm gonna show you one, I'm gonna spare you the boring details. Maybe I'll show you a couple, I don't know. So what I'm trying to decide here, oh yeah, that's still going to require a magnet to hold it in place. I was trying to see if I went a little bit tighter with these, then I was trying to see if maybe I could reduce the need to have a magnet. Just because, again, I don't want to impact that scan tool, you know. And I just don't imagine that the electronics would really like being around those magnetic fields for too long. But man, that's just a perfect fit though. Let's see. You guys are kind of right in my way to be able to see where to put this one. Right there. See, in that one is held in there by the foam just fine. A little bit on the snugger side, I guess. And that one's back to loose. Well, you guys get the idea. All right, let's see if I can trace the lines on this ratchet. Show you my methodology. See if I can do it without slicing myself. I just try to trace just lightly trace a line around it first, and then I go back around. And try not to move it. Doesn't feel like I'm doing a great job trying not to move it, but all right. Looks pretty good. Actually, I don't know how well you guys can see that at all, but it's enough for me to at least see the lines. And then try and use this narrow blade just to get all the little tight corners and tight angles. And then I'll come over with the bigger blade for the long cuts. So sometimes this is kind of like, call it toolbox therapy. Something kind of like, I don't know, the bonsai, like my little bonsai tree work or something like that. I don't know. But other times, kind of feel restless and want to do other things. And this kind of feels like one of those restless times. I just want to get this done. So I'd like to do some other things. Work has still been super busy. It's not going to slow down for the next... It's not going to be slowing down at least for the next, I don't know, probably whole week. And then it'll be pretty busy. I don't know. Probably the next several months. Can't really clue you guys in on more than that. But I think my kid's car might be having like a coolant issue. And talking about the Honda Civic that I'm building this little mini kit for. Noticed that, well, it was low on coolant when I was working on it the other day, so I topped it off, and kid was telling me today that it didn't think her heater was working. Like, her heater seems to be acting up, and that's not a great sign. So it makes me wonder, well, it could be a couple of things, right? It could be there's no coolant in there, so nothing running through the heater core. Or I don't know. Well, that's the one that's got me the most worried, I guess. So I'm gonna have to take a look at it again. Even though I wanted to work on other cars first, when I get time, I still want to get to working on my Golf R. It's actually needing a couple things. I got, if nothing else, do an oil change on it. But no, I really want to start doing all the bulletproofing on the Golf R soon. So, but yeah, I worked through last weekend, and there's a possibility I'll have to do that again this weekend, but I don't know yet. I'm hoping not. Hoping not. Again, I'll do the corners with this guy. And then the big long cuts with this one. It's kind of hard to see here. Just a shadow there. Back to this one. This is going to be a really cool little toolbox, though. I mean, I want to get it done, but I'm kind of excited to see how this one turns out. I think this is going to be one of the cooler ones I've done, as far as the little ones, anyway. Come on. No. There we go. All right. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, so then I was thinking, in this one, there's no Torx on these cars, but they use hex bits. So I'm gonna see if I can load up some hex bits from one of those cheap GNXer kits I got. Alrighty, you guys wanna see how some of the magic happens? Just drop these guys in there. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Actually, we're gonna have to, man, those, the magnet seems kind of weak. See, the bar magnets can be a little too strong, though. Let's see if we got some in-betweeners. Let's try out these guys. Well, these feel like strong ones. All right, so I want to say I was pretty sure we were going to need one right there. See, that'll hold that in. I don't know. I really don't. I'm gonna see if I can. What happens if I don't do a magnet? I'm just gonna see. Gonna see how well it works without. It's always risky though, because if I attach this before I drop the magnets in, then it just makes it a little harder to tougher to see where to drop them if I end up needing to. Don't know what I'm gonna do.